Welcome to another stream. How y'all doing today? It is Monday, the something of something, the 26th of April. And we're getting close to the end of April. God, feels like the time just keeps coming. But yeah, we're here for another stream. And today is Monday, so that means it's auto update day. So we're gonna be taking a look at that. I wrote a lot of code yesterday instead of doing other things like recording or the 5 other things I had planned for the weekend. But I wrote some stuff for pre-commit.ci that we're going to take a look at in a bit, which should give me better insight to all the goings on of things in that. But let me say hi to everyone who's here. Ethan Diving was first. I Satisfied has resubbed at 9 months in a row. Let me replay that because TTS was off. Juice but cool. Thank you for the resub, I Satisfied. Appreciate your continued support. It's good to see you again, as always. And Honky Man says, nice shiny Umbreon. Indeed, we have the plushy's name is, this one is Carpet. The shiny Umbreon, which is also where these 2 emotes come into play, and that's why they are named as such. But yes, shiny Umbreon. All right, so Pop Stars, hello, welcome back. So what we usually do on auto update days is I go to the management console and we take a look at our CloudWatch dashboard. Which should show us what happened today. Spoilers, already looked at it, so this is mostly me just recapitulating what happened here. So if you take a look at this, you'll notice, well, let's zoom in first on the auto update. Well, a little bit more. Yeah, let's get this whole chunk in here. So what happens here is the auto update starts about here, right here specifically, in the time that it takes the graph to catch up. Oh, we have 1 in dead letter 2. We also have to look at whatever happened, whatever went wrong here. Dang it. What was I saying? Yeah, so this is where the auto update starts, and you'll notice that it takes it almost it starts at 20 after. It takes it almost 10 whole minutes to scale up, which is a bit much. And you can see this graph here. You can see that the queue continually fell behind until the scale up happened, and then the queue started going down. Now, what I also notice here is that this maximum size is not enough to handle the full load. You can see here that the queue, the queue didn't fall super far behind here. 10 behind is usually about 40 or 50 seconds of queuing. Something like that. Hey, Mr. Python, hello. Good to see you again. And the auto update ends here-ish. Actually, let's look on this graph. So when this is 0, yeah. So this is where the auto update finishes, and then you can see the queue gets processed after that. And it looks like this here is, see, this is at, what time was this? 16, so this is 2 hours later, so this is at like 11 o'clock. This might be me. No, because it wouldn't show up like that. I don't know, this is a bunch of merged PRs happening, and so it did trigger a scale up, although by the time it scaled up, those queue items had already been processed, so it scaled up kind of for no reason. But yeah. Paramasiva says, is this too much for offer anew? I don't know what you mean. Is this too much for a noob to watch? No, I mean, so When I write code, I try and explain everything that I'm working on. So you'll get some level of something out of whatever I talk about. But I kind of operate at all sorts of different levels. I'm not specifically targeting new programmers, but you'll find a lot of my content to be, useful or helpful to new programmers, and especially my YouTube content. So I have this explains video series, which if you click on the GitHub link, it's a little bit easier to search for like topics you want to learn about. Where I go over a lot of different programming concepts. Hey, what's up, Walker Codes? Hello, hello. Good to see you again. It's too late anyways. Yeah. This is partially because it took... God, I don't know why it took so long. The desired capacity bumped nice and quickly. There must not have been available capacity here, be my guess. This had the same problem. It took forever to get scaled up here. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. This one scaled up nice and quickly, as did this first one. So I don't know why it took so long to do that. But I have some ideas on how to make that faster. I just have not implemented them. Another thing that I could do is I could just pre-scale, because I know specifically when this load spike is going to happen. So if I instead like here said please scale up to 5, then maybe I should set the max to 6. I don't know. Scale up to 5 here. Then this spike would have been less bad. We'll look at this in a second because we have to make a code change to fix whatever this is. Presumably, unless this is somebody like deactivating in the middle, which there's like a race condition. I guess it's an easier race to hit now because it's, as this time spreads out, it's more likely to hit that. But Grandpa's iPad, thank you for the resub for 7 months in a row and 7 total. Thank you for your continued support. It's good to see you again. You're here on every stream though, so it's not like I'm surprised to see Grandpa's iPad show up. Paramasiva, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. But yeah, let's take a look at the dead letter. I didn't notice the dead letter when I was looking at this earlier, but that's kind of unfortunate. Also, another thing that I noticed here is this usually completes in about an hour. But you can see that it took, well, I guess it only took like an hour and 15 minutes. It's still like slightly longer than it usually takes. But I also think there's probably some chunk of these that I can just delete. Which would improve the time here. Grandma just doesn't know how to switch apps. Sonny, I've been watching this twitch.tv/Anthony Writes Code for 7 months now. I just want to check my email. But it's just Anthony Writes Code. Yeah, I don't know. When will we hit 10,000 followers? So this will actually be the second time I've hit 10,000 followers. We got follow botted by about 12 to 1,300 follow bots in 2018, and Twitch has finally started purging follow bots. So I was above 10K, and now I'm under 10K again, but getting very close to get there again. Social Blade, Twish, Anthony. I like how the suggestions here are like GitHub search terms. Like, yes, this is the same search box as GitHub. But you can see, yeah, so like here is the most recent purge of some followers. If you go further back here, yeah, you can see in the last 30 days I've lost almost, I mean, net minus 1,000 followers, so. Yeah, that's just how that goes. But it's not like I wanted the follow bots. Yeah, you can see the spike here. This is this is a spike this year. So there was a follow bot this year and there was a follow bot in 2018. But Twitch has started purging them. Insert how do I quit Vim joke here. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, presumably I'll hit 10K in a, I don't know, I usually get about 20 or 30 a stream, so I don't know, 4 or 5 streams. Something like that. It says, I found an Anthony. He talks like my grandmother used to for some reason. Weird. Hey, what's up, Mustafa? Hello, hello. Oh, if you do bang project without a space, you will get the answer to your query. Where do you find all these people? I'm too short of affiliate. Huh. I mean, you don't want to be followed by it. When you get followed by it, it's a pain in the butt. You get like all sorts of notifications, and then your stream is just like messy for a while, and it's not fun. Follow bots are not great. Okay, let's see what went wrong here. This is dead letter, send receive, poll. This looks like a bot. I bet you this GitHub user got banned. Yep, they were probably a crypto miner. Let's actually see if we can find them in our database though, because I wonder if we processed any of their stuff. Results slash repo slash GitHub slash this. Oh, they did try and set up a run. See what it failed for though. Oh. No pre-commit config. Look at how fast it failed. 360 milliseconds, super zoomy. But yeah, that's fine. They got banned. I don't really have a good way to detect this right now, so for now, we just notice these and purge them. Right, you have to do, how do I do this? Purge. That's gonna make me type the word purge. Okay, cool. Probably another crypto spammer. I was watching a person who had Streamlabs comment for each follow. Their chat got spammed with follow message. Oh no. Excuse me, that's microseconds? Wait, how did it fail so fast? They didn't have a pre-commit config. they had no configuration. So of course it failed super fast. I want this to animate, but I'm not good enough with CSS animations. Make it happen. Why would a crypto miner set up pre-commit.ci? They probably just went to GitHub Marketplace and just like pressed yes on all of the CI systems, and then like, I don't know. That would be my guess. It's actually pretty hard to mine crypto on pre-commit.ci because of several design constraints. One being that they don't have network at runtime, so it's really hard to, you know, send your winnings to your wallet. The second being that the run timeouts are extremely aggressive because pre-commit.ci is not a general purpose CI system. It is specifically for linters and code formatters. So, you know, a linter or code formatter shouldn't take, you know, an hour to run. So there's no reason to have like a maximum time of an hour. Now it still would be possible to like write a significantly complicated distributed system to mine crypto on pre-commit.ci and then scrape it from a failed run job output. But like the amount of engineering effort to do that would be extremely high, and it'd be really easy to detect them and ban them. But yeah, the purge indeed. Broccoli Rama, hello. Good to see you again. But yeah, they would mine on CI systems because it's free compute. Exactly, even typing. Jenny Pie, hello. Good to see you again. Do you have any advice for somebody learning Python? I do. And Unsatisfied has helpfully linked. Yes, click on the first one. I don't specifically, like, the advice in that video is not specific to Python. However, I do mention a few Python specific links in there. Hey, what's up, Solus? Hello. Good to see you. What did I miss? What did I miss? Not much. I just went over this graph. Look at this graph! Look at this graph! Oh, god damn it. Oh, I hit 150k babbies halfway to a 24-hour stream. I actually, yeah, it's currently disabled because I owe 3 12-hour streams still because I've been super busy and have not had time to stream for long chunks of time. But at some point, it's been a while, indeed, and I recognize your name, so it's good to see you again. But anyway, this is the thing. But the other thing that I want to show you is I did a bunch of work on, well, I guess we can drawing this up because I know how much you guys like when I draw in Paint. So the way pre-commit.ci mostly works right now, it's gonna be a severe oversimplification. There's a web tier. Oh, why is that font size so big? Did I zoom? No. There's a web tier, which writes to an SQSQ. SQSQ. That writes to an SQSQ, and then there is the runner. Runner, which performs runs, and it writes to. Oh, we don't have a cylinder. Why don't we have a cylinder? Well, we're gonna use a triangle for. Oh wait, we usually use triangles for lambdas. We'll use diamond for our database. Huh, because it's diamondamo. Anyway. And anyway, the runner writes to the runs table. The web also writes and reads to the runs table. And I wanted to set up some metrics for this. And I kind of had 2 options. One was to like write the metrics directly in the runner and like make this more complicated. But it turns out we have like basically all the metrics that I would want to need or that I would want to do. All of it. Anyway, that sentence was garbage. I have all the information to make the metrics that I would want in the runs table, but doing large relational queries over the runs table is pretty slow. So what I wanted to do instead is take the runs as an input and output it to actual metrics. And fortunately, there's a real cool thing in AWS with Dynamo called Dynamo Streams. What I set up on Sunday is a new lambda which takes in triggers from this Dynamo Streams. Why is this font size huge? Who changed this? Did I do this? But anyway, Dynamo Streams. Oh, that looks like garbage. Can now write to a lambda, and I have a lambda called run metrics, which writes into where's the cloud bubble? Which writes into CloudWatch metrics. Oh, that's did that wrong. I'm gonna do that side first, and there we go. So this writes into CloudWatch metrics. CloudWatch metrics, and basically what Dynamo Streams is it's like a changelog event system. So if you get an insert or an update, it will trigger this lambda, and then we can do all sorts of fun stuff with that. Bird C, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. Best software on Windows. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Soul says, I got my second shot today, and I was fine before, but now I just feel bleh. Yeah, that was how I felt for my first shot, except it was a lot more than bleh. It was basically just like dead. Are you saying that you do work while people are not watching? Yeah. So yesterday I like barely got out of bed, and I felt like, well, if I'm not gonna get out of bed, I might as well like write some code, because it was gross outside. It was like raining and cold and miserable. But yeah, 10 minutes here, and I've learned a lot about MS Paint. Never realized you could make graphs with it. I mean, this isn't exactly a graph. It's basically shapes. I didn't even do any fun coloring. This is maybe not the best. Not my strongest diagram here. Where's the fill tool? Yeah, like I probably could have colored some stuff in and made this look better, and I don't know. It looks like trash now because the text is already there, but yeah. I just use it for cropping. Yeah, Anthony, it never rains here. It's boring. Also, Anthony, it's raining and it's so the rain here is not rain. It's like drizzle. And the only reason I was complaining about the rain is I've been biking every day, and yesterday was like the first day that it's like, well, I guess I can't bike today. I would love if it actually rained instead of just like this drizzly bullshit. But we don't get drizzly bullshit. We get just enough rain to make the roads like slightly sludgy, and everyone forgets how to drive. Like we don't get enough rain to like run off the grime on the streets. Just kind of sits around all the time. Hey, what's up, Jake Carey? I think you need to use GIMP. No, I'm good. Paint's fine for me. Jamie Pratt, hello. Good to see you. But yeah, so we have some new metrics. I've not put them into a chart or anything yet. But they go into this CI runs namespace, and I actually have 6 metrics, but the other one has not triggered yet, which is good because the other one that triggers, the reason that I added it is I want to make an alarm on it. It's the requeue metric, which is what happens when I encounter a failure scenario, or a very specific failure scenario. But anyway, I now have these metrics, which shows a bunch of different things. So the prepare duration. So let's just start with prepares. So these are the build portion of a run. So you can see that. Oh, let's actually change the graph. Let's see, graph options. Minimum 0 because we use properly bounded graphs here. And let's set these to 1 minute because that's the resolution that we have. We see a few outliers there. Let's just look at this here first. So this is the prepare duration. This is how long a build takes. So you can see based on this graph, like we're pretty speedy here. This is like pretty good for builds. Like the longest build is like 21 seconds, and this is before the runs actually start. If we set the period to 1 hour, this is probably a better representation. So we're seeing between like 3 to 10 seconds to set up a job. Now the error duration, of course, if we set the period to 1 hour, it bleeds all the data points away because there's not really that many data points here. Prepare error is how long it took a run to fail during setup, and this 180 seconds here has me concerned. This, I believe, well, actually, probably these 2 points here. These are probably things that timed out while building, because I'm pretty sure the build timeout is either, I think it's 180 seconds. Might be, I don't know. But my guess is that this represents a timeout situation, which probably means that either something couldn't build or something else failed. I'm not really sure. J. Carey says, coding, that thing you do when you're not fixing the piece of crap code you were given. It's true. I wrote, I think, like 5 lines code today. Then again, I'm on what? Stripe has to have like weird words for literally everything. I'm on run, which sounds really dumb when you say it. You're like, oh, I'm on run today. But it's essentially it's like the equivalent of on call. But I'm that this week for the whole dev prod org. So it's basically air traffic control in our like support channel and triaging a bunch of Jira tickets. And not that bad, but it's a lot of like, it's like constant context switching. Is this what they call graph theory? Call graph theory. Is this what they call graph theory? Yeah, something like that. Coding, that thing you're supposed to do while you're reading chat. Ethan typing. Why you gotta be so real like that? On call already on the new job? So I volunteered. But yeah, I volunteered because someone on my team was has temporarily switched teams to work on a higher priority issue. For whatever reason, my team seems to just get everyone loaned out, which like I guess that's how things go. But yeah, the person who was supposed to be on call or on run was loaned out to another team. Why has it gotten rid of the other metrics here? Oh, because I'm doing the graph metrics. But anyway, that's. So let's just check all of these, and then we can uncheck them from here. So yeah, this tracks how long it takes a run to you know, set up everything before it actually starts running. Let's actually look at P10. P10 is gonna be your fastest. It looks like the fastest prepare duration is like 2 seconds. We look at P99. Like the worst case scenario, you're looking at like 48 seconds. So the interesting thing is a lot of these in here are because of auto update, which makes sense. Like you'll see a lot of fresh builds. You also see them stop right at the end of the auto update chunk. So this is people updating to newer versions, and I'm actually surprised how many are updating to newer. It's probably, I guess, it would be additional dependencies makes this, you know, more of a thing. But anyway, that's prepare duration. We talked about prepare error duration. This is the one that I want to get better at. Now, granted, this is a bit of a misleading metric because queue time can increase a lot for a single user because runs intentionally stack. Like you have one parallelism per user, unless you're on a pro tier, and then there's fancy multi-queuing stuff. But there are currently only two accounts on a paid tier, or at least that's what it was this morning. I haven't checked since then. Which is my account and Adam's account. But yeah, so the queue time can be pretty high for auto update, but also like this was the period when it was reasonably well scaled, and you can see like queue times are, you know, they're at most like 40 seconds, which I think is pretty reasonable. My goal is to have queue time always be less than a minute, even during load times like auto update times. So this is you know, like an area of improvement can be this bit of stuff here. The endless server says, what are they running from, right? Hey, what's up, Black Box? Welcome back. Good to see you. But yeah, this is like a thing that I want to improve on. So that's queue duration. I also have a graph for run failures. And you can see that there's quite a few run failures during auto update. I suspect a lot of this was reformats. There were a lot of reformats that got triggered today because Black released a new version, so a lot of people had code that got magically fixed there. But you can see there's a lot of failed runs there. And then we have the metric that I think is, you know, maybe the most useful, which is the successful runs. And you can see during the auto update period, it's pretty. But if we average this, we can now give a definitive answer to like what is the average runtime take. Let's do across 15 minutes. Yeah, so you can see like the average run is taking like, you know, between 15 and 30 seconds, which is pretty good. But the other reason that I wanted to get metrics in place is if I make improvements, I want to be able to, you know, measure the improvements. Now, granted, even at like 15-minute interval is kind of noisy. So I'll probably need to collect data over a longer period to get a better idea of like how the average time takes. I don't know. I have metrics now, so that's kind of cool. I'm probably gonna make a dashboard out of this at some point, so that it's easier to see what's going on. But I figured I'd share that with you since I did a lot of that yesterday. I also did some other stuff yesterday. Oh, what else did I work on? I guess I could go to pre-commit.ci/issues. It could go change like a ghost. Garbage. Indeed, the endless server. That is basically Black, and the auto update in a nutshell. Hey, what's up, recursive chat? Hello. Man, we have not seen recursive kernel panic in a really long time. It's just been you, recursive chat. Don't know what happened to them. But yeah, I did a bunch of stuff yesterday. This one I did this morning. So there is a particular set of configuration validation. So pre-commit config validation actually takes 2 stages. Because it doesn't have enough information to answer at the first stage. So what it does is it does some additional validation. And it turns out if something fails with one of those validation messages, pre-commit.ci was just dropping that error message on the floor, so you can see this kind of like useless output, like, oh, it errored. But what happened? So yeah, what happened here is there was an error message. So I fixed this. Do I have an example? Maybe. Untitled.2/demo2 wet. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's called. So after fixing that, you get an error message that looks like this. This is results dev, so it's not prod, but this is what the error message was doing. Specifies language version, but is using language system, which does not install an environment. Perhaps you meant to use a specific language. Yeah, so they were using language system, but also had language version. So this fixed that up, which is pretty cool. Oh no, recursive chat. Yeah, right, black box. We moved to a stable kernel now. Wait, what stable kernel? What are you talking about, the other server? Recursive chat says, I've yet to meet this recursive kernel panic person. Yeah. I promise they exist. Is the pre-commit site open to contributors? Which one? And yes. So the website for pre-commit.com lives here. Pre-commit/pre-commit.com. Oh, no more kernel panics. Oh, I see. I understand now. Man, I must seem like Smarter Child, where I just completely forget what I'm talking about as soon as I start talking about it. But yeah, there's pre-commit.com. And this, the source of this renders this website here. So if you ever want to change something here, that's where that lives. And the not logged in version of pre-commit.ci, is pre-commit.ci/pre-commit.ci. Similar idea. This website is built from GitHub here. So that's the thing. That was the thing that I fixed this morning. What else? I did a lot of work on pre-commit.ci. Oh, fix this typo on the marketplace entry. I typoed repository, which Adam helpfully pointed out. Oh, this was a lot of work. So I have implemented a bunch of security headers for security headers. So there are headers that you can send as part of a website that tell the browser to disable particular features. Some of them are like, don't allow loading scripts from this particular source. I should probably just make a video about this. Explain security headers. Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Video idea, security headers. But let me show you the ones that I added. Web handler. Here we go. So I added content security policy. We'll talk about content security policy because this is the more complicated one. But I added refer policy and set that to same origin. This means that if you click on a link on pre-commit.ci and it goes to an external site, then it won't pass along the refer header. This makes sure that you hide, like if you had sensitive information in your URL, this would protect you from leaking that sensitive URL using the refer header. What the refer header is, if you're not familiar with web tech, is when you click on a link, usually what happens is the website that you go to knows where you came from via the refer header, because your browser will pass that along. The same is also true if you're in an iframe. You'll also get a refer header there as well. And refer policy allows you to configure that behavior. So if you set same origin, you only get refers internally, links that link to yourself on the same origin, the same host name, port, protocol. But if you link to external sites, it doesn't get passed along. The next is strict transport security. So what this does is it tells the browser that this should always be loaded over HTTPS. And you can also set a few other options to strict transport security, which include subdomains and preload. This says that any subdomain of your particular domain that's serving this header should also be strict transport. And preload means that the browser can store it for a long time. You can also submit it to a preload list, which will make it so that the browser never even tries to request HTTP, and those preload lists get synced into browsers periodically. All right, so the next one is X content type options equals no sniff. I don't remember the specifics of this. If I remember correctly, browsers by default will guess at the content type of a thing that's returned, and this turns off that guessing. Is a marker used by the server to indicate that the MIME types advertised in the content type header should not be changed and be followed. Okay, so this prevents a browser from reinterpreting something as something else. So if you had like an HTML response and somebody somehow messed with the headers of content type, or like the browser didn't notice that it wasn't, or didn't look like an HTML document, like it looked like a JavaScript file, it would prevent it from, like, you know, fumbling that content type. So it prevents that vulnerability there. Next is X-frame options. This prevents you from being embedded in an iframe on someone else's page, which can prevent clickjacking attacks and other stuff. This XSS protection is mostly deprecated. It was a feature added by Internet Explorer, and then Chrome implemented it for a while. Basically what it did is the browser had some extra detection for seeing if reflected XSS was happening on the page based on URL parameters and stuff, and it would do some like filtering of the page. Now this filtering was like super error prone and actually led to more bugs, so that's why Chrome removed it. But it's still it's still a recommended practice to include this header, especially for new sites. It's hard to add it to old sites because you might not know what the filtering thing would do. But as far as I know, this is mostly obsolete. And then the last is content security policy, which is a bit more complicated. What content security policies it says is it tells the browser a bunch of security directives. And most of the ones that I have included here are just for loading third-party assets. And it's basically saying, like, if there's an image somewhere on the page, it can only come from this domain or this domain. Any other domain, you should block that image. And so if like somebody had attacked your site in some way and managed to get it so it could inject a different image, this directive would prevent the browser from loading some third-party image. The same is true for like the script SRC. So you can see I'm only allowing scripts from jQuery and this JS Deliver CDN, and I believe the Bootstrap CDN as well. This could be, the Bootstrap CDN. This could actually be cut down a little bit further because this CDN allows you to, I think, load anything from NPM, which is way more than I actually want. But this is a good like first step in paring this down. Next is style SRC. It works similar to script SRC. I actually have to set unsafe inline for my styles because I have an inline style tag because I haven't, I haven't CDNized my my styles yet, so they're just YOLO inline because I don't know, it works well enough, and I don't have that many styles beyond Bootstrap, so it was easier to do it this way than set up a full CDN promotion pipeline. And then this default source none just says like, if there's any other asset type, don't load it at all. Just completely ignore it. This frame ancestors is actually the same as this xframe options here. This thing replaces this header down here. And form action self means that no form can post to an external site. So it has to, all forms in the app post directly to themselves. And this is some like weird base tag that I don't understand, so I just copy and pasted this part. I could probably learn more about it if I were to make a video about it. But yeah, those are the security headers that I added. And I had to add like each of these one at a time just to make sure it didn't break anything. This actually took way fucking longer than I wanted it to. And honestly, I wish there was like a good... Like, this could have been fully automated. I could have like popped my website into a thing and been like, tell me what content security policy I should use. And it could have just spit this out for me. But it didn't. I had to manually do all this, so I don't know, maybe might be a cool idea to turn this into like an app or a browser extension or something cool. I don't know. But anyway, figure that out. Love the comment, fuck Jinja 2, yeah. Yeah. Jinja 2 uncapitalizes the word none for dumb fucking reasons. Jinja 2 isn't Python, so we're not gonna support Python. We're gonna support Python 95%, except everything that's capitalized is no longer capitalized. So stupid. So yeah, fuck Jinja 2. This is like everyone's favorite like 4 lines of code in my app. Like this is what chat notices most. The other server says, when would you serve Bootstrap yourself? Oh, I gotta say hi to Outdated Version first. How's it going, Outdated Version? Hello. When would you serve Bootstrap yourself, and when would you use a third-party CDN for it? So it depends on... depends on a couple of things. One is like... Honestly, in the modern age, with most modern browsers that have checksumming, your benefit of serving out of a third-party CDN is that... or your hope from serving out of a third-party CDN is that other users using the same library are also using that on their website, and so a browser will likely have that library cached locally. That is kind of the selling point of centralized CDNs. And fortunately, in modern browsers, you can do nice things like checksumming on assets. So you can see here, like, I have a script src, and then I have an integrity SHA-384 checksum, because it's not a SHA-256, 384, which is slightly more powerful. Hey, what's up? Graham is cool. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. But basically what you can say here is that, like, you can set an integrity check on these. So even though it's coming from a third party that you may not trust, you can instruct the browser that it should reject something if it doesn't see the right hash here. So you can still protect your users against this. So I don't know. That would be why you would use a third-party CDN for a common asset, would be for performance reasons. Hey, what's up, Ezekiel? Hello. Good to see you again. Why wouldn't you use a CDN? Because it's way easier to not use a CDN. Because I would have to set up like a promotion pipeline to make that actually work. So this is super janky right now. It was really easy for me to just like write this CSS in line. And later what I'll do is I'll take this CSS and compile it down, compress it, and upload it to a CDN, and then serve that out of a separate domain. This was also way easier to develop. Way easier to develop because I don't have to deal with an asset promotion pipeline or differences between production and development and that sort of stuff. But this is definitely one of the things that I'm like, well, I know I need to fix this, and so I will at some point. And oddly enough, I've written a CDN promotion pipeline 3 times now. Twice at Yelp. I guess I didn't really write the one at Lyft. I was mostly advising. I'm terrified. Because the one at Lyft is not very good. But yeah, I know how to write a CDN promotion pipeline. didn't want to do it because I knew how much work it was, and I knew that this was going to work well enough, so I went with this instead. Eagle says, I think a site like that exists. Let me see if I can find it. A CDN site? I mean, I know how to write. I know how to work with CDN. I can just use CloudFront on AWS, but I need to, configure it. And I knew that was going to take a bunch of work, so I didn't bother. Hey, what's up, Senka Moon? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, yay, fever. Oh, I see. You're getting your second dose side effects there. Does 90 booty. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome back. I'm doing well. It's day. It's a Monday. The service says, oh boy, did I spend a long time debugging my jQuery. Apparently the slim one does not come with .load. Oh. Weird. Tried using it for auto-refreshing a part of the page. Interesting. I have not worked with jQuery since they did their split. Honestly, I haven't worked since jQuery 1.6. It's just really fucking old. It's from like 2010. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've written a lot of jQuery. But anyways, that's security headers. That's another thing that I did on Sunday. This one, I think GitHub fixed, even though... so what was happening is an autofix failed to push if it modified a GitHub Actions file, because you need special permissions. But I think it's just magic. It appears to be magically fixed. Because here's a commit that I did from pre-commit.ci dev that modified a GitHub Actions file. So I think it's fixed. I don't know. So this one I just closed because it seems to be working. Although my GitHub support ticket is still open, so it's likely not fixed, and something that I did here just either didn't tickle the bug, or I don't actually know what happened there. This one I just closed because it's a very weird bug in Git, and I reported it to Git, but they haven't replied to me, so... And I don't think they will because it's been months. I just closed that. Oh, custom commit message. So this is now an option. So now you can do your stupid ass conventional commit bullshit if you really want to. But there's now an auto update. Oh, that's... Whoa. I don't think I've seen that before. Wait, hold up. Why didn't it do it that time? Oh. This little outline. I don't think I've seen that before. Is this a Chrome feature? Or a Bootstrap feature? Like, what is causing... Oh, I didn't even see it. Alright, let's try this again. Is it going to open with the inspector? No. I don't know what's causing that. That's kind of cool. I was talking about a site to analyze your CSP. Oh, yeah. To analyze it, but it doesn't, like, tell you what it should be. It tells you whether it's good or not. Where's the, like, put in your thing? Maybe this isn't the one that I saw. Tools. CSP. Oh, maybe CSP Builder? Let's put in pre-commit.ci. Let's see what it does. No policy was found. Yeah, see? Like, not helpful. Generate. No? Yeah, this isn't helpful. Fuck. Oh, right. It's being results. So I can't actually implement CSP on the GitHub Actions stuff. Here's your policy, thanks. Thanks, this is literally, you're literally just spitting back what I put in. Cool. Yeah, this isn't helpful. But anyway. Everyone hates jQuery, but without jQuery, we'd still be writing in pure script tags. I like jQuery, I'm not hating on jQuery. It's been a while since I touched JS at all. Yeah. I write it occasionally. David says, oh yes, Anthony, go off. Tell us how you really feel about conventional commits. God, they're so stupid. so fucking stupid. Oh, I fixed this. So when you went to a badge page for something that had not been run yet, it would just kind of error. Let's see if I can trigger this. So if we do ace_tilly2/ I don't think there's anything for demo 3. So this used to just 404. But now it redirects you to the actual repo page. So like if you hadn't run anything yet, it'll take you to here now. So you can notice that like there are no runs. So I fixed that just by adding a redirect there. I didn't actually implement any error pages, even though that was the plan. And then I was like, oh wait, I can just do this other clever thing instead. And of course, last week we launched private repository support and made pre-commit.ci available on the GitHub Marketplace, where you can purchase a plan, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, and that was most of the stuff I did yesterday. A lot of work. I like jQuery too, but I don't like writing in it. I just appreciate it for what it did for the industry. I mean, I like writing jQuery. I think it's pretty fine. I'm a React simp though, through and through. I see. But for real though, curious what's with conventional commits. So the idea behind conventional commits is that you are supposed to put this machine-readable garbage at the beginning of every commit and categorize your changes into one of 4 categories. I forget, was it 4 or 3? I think it's feature, fix, break, and chore. Conventional commits. Yeah, so you put this machine-readable garbage at the beginning of this. Fix, feat, breaking, change, and chore. Guess you guys use other ones as well. I really only ever see chore though. Because it seems like everything I fucking do is chore. But the idea is that you put like some machine garbage at the beginning of your commit, so that you can generate, you know, change logs automatically. But in reality, you would never want most of the stuff that you put in a commit message to end up in your change logs. Like, your commit message is supposed to describe what you're changing, and like that doesn't necessarily bleed over nicely to what you would describe to an end user in a changelog. Like it's useful information for the developer, but it's usually not useful for an end user. So I find that like, you know, automatically generating changelogs from commits is not the best. But also like enforcing this weird fucking style is I think is bad. The other thing is like most of the time you can't take one particular change and fit it into one of these categories. Like usually it's, you know, a feature with some fixes, or, you know, it's some amount of, you know, style fixing in a fix, or like some amount of refactoring as part of a feature. Like it's impossible to fit any one change into a particular box. And, you know, part of what conventional commit says is like, oh, this is intentional. You should split up your change into a bunch of different changes and like never make refactors while you're introducing features. And like, that's just a waste of everyone's fucking time. But anyway, so I think conventional commits are dumb. What's worse is conventional emoji commits. I think those are even worse. So they take conventional commits and then they put a bunch of emoji bullshit in front of it instead, so that you have to use emotes in every single one of your commit messages, I think. But anyway, Silly Bun says there's way more now. Yeah. Oh, and then there's the character limit. Yeah. So you have to like cut off your very very particular commit message. You lose a bunch of characters to, you know, the machine garbage. Sparkle fixed a thing. So you joke, Ethan, but that's exactly what this thing is like recommending you do. But yeah, Blackbox says I agree with anything. I usually go with first line containing whatever ticket ID I'm working on, 2 CRLFs, and then a more detailed description if necessary. Yeah, I think that's completely reasonable. I think that's completely reasonable. Okay. But yeah, nice crypto miner account here. I wish GitHub. I wonder if GitHub gives like a nice. I probably could have looked at the error log. Oh, we can still look at the error log. We can still look at the error log and see what happened. Oh, I wonder if I delete their account though. No, this still exists. So I need to purge their install. Oh. Let's go to AWS and Dynamo. Just so they don't get re-queued next week. Tables, installs, items, and query GitHub and their install ID. Then and purge them. I know, you probably shouldn't edit your data directly, but goodbye. Get me back to the full view. Yeah, there we go. Cool. But yeah, fixed. So that I won't have to worry about them in the future. More fixes or whip are my favorites. Yeah. So pretty common commit message. There was this engineer that I worked with at Yelp. Every single one of her commit messages was poop. Every single one was poop. And and Yelp didn't do squash merges, which I actually really liked. I prefer merging. So if you did, git log --grep poop, there would just be thousands of poop commits from this one particular engineer. She did not take work seriously at all. Didn't give a fuck. Honesty is the best policy. Yeah, there you go. I thought you meant bad commit messages. No, I meant literally the word poop. Yeah, this individual was yeah, had an interesting view on things. Okay, I'm out of water, and it's right about time that I'm supposed to fill up my water. So I will be right back, and then we will dive into some open sourcey stuff, I guess. So I will be right back. Hello, I'm back. Here's water. So I was thinking about it, and Poop Girl was actually not the worst offender of commit messages that I have seen in my times, because at least she was like somewhat honest, right? And wasn't doing it maliciously. There was this other developer, and I've told the story many times, who has a Git alias, and it's public on GitHub. I don't remember how to spell their handle though. It's like or something like that. They have an alias that they use for committing all the time, which is, I think they have an alias to like GCA or something like that. But it's git commit -a -n -m -. So they always no verify commit everything that's in their working directory, and their commit message is always --. Always. 100% of the time. And when asked about change sets, they would be like, fuck you, read the code. Literally. At work. In a professional environment. That was their response. Was fuck you, read the code. Yeah, not like this, right, Black Box? Yeah. This guy was at work. And unfortunately, he was really good at writing code, so the company kept him around for a long time, despite him being a toxic piece of shit. But, yeah. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Hey, what's up, Polymathic Man? Hello. It's good to see you again. Hopefully you are doing well. Okay, so let's talk about what I want to work on today. Actually, we can do you want to do the easy thing first, or we want to do the hard thing first? Let's do the easiest thing first. Let's do the easy thing first, which is re-reviewing this pull request. Which we already reviewed once on stream. We're gonna review again. Because I don't think it's ready. Sounds like toxic management too. Yeah, there was certainly a fair share of that. But not in that specific situation. I mean, there was toxic enablement through management, but yeah. Misunderstood talk is cheap, just show me the code? Conventional command only need one fix. Oh no. Okay, they fixed this part, which is good. This literally could never work. This should be command output B docker expect. They have misunderstood how this function works. Okay. Load the output. Loop over all the things. Ignoring the remaining ones. Must a path the common path. Is that right? It means that this path starts with this path. Wait, I don't think that's right. Import us.path are common path. If you have like A, B, C, and A, D, B. Oh, let's need this sequence. Yes, this isn't right. 1 for tuples to lists. Damn, I don't remember the URL. Oh, it's capitalized. 1 for tuples to list 2. This isn't quite correct. You'll need to use equals to path, I believe. Yep. Keller Markers says, why don't you use code suggestions when making comments like that? Because they have some functional, they have to change the code anyway for other reasons. I'll do code suggestions if it is only one line. Otherwise it's more work for them the other way around. Also, this is a multi-line suggestion, and I know GitHub supports multi-line suggestions. I've just found them to be kind of buggy. But also, like, I don't expect people to write good code in a GitHub editor, so I don't trust myself to necessarily write good code in a GitHub editor. The mock module is already imported. You can use mock.mock open directly. I don't know why they touched this. I mean, they did a change that I agree with, but I don't know why they touched this. God, why? No. No. Oh, God. I told them to get rid of a backslash somewhere else. And they added a new backslash here. Now backslashes again. You probably want this to be a yield fixture. Just fixture. Mocked read with mock.patch.object built-ins open. I don't even know how that works. Never seen this before. I've seen mock open, but I've never seen this before. Callable equals mock open as mck. build mck, and then in your test, utilize read data equals. That's how fixtures work. With mock file fixture none. Yeah, this is like a good example of why that was a bad design. This output string is of the wrong type. It should be bytes. Late on the law. What's the reason behind not using classes for this project? My horizon needs to be enlightened. So I think that classes and tests encourage bad design patterns. They encourage people to write inheritance-based test garbage. And I don't know about you, but when I go to read a test, I want to know what the test is doing. And if I have to follow some like weird fucking mix-in inheritance hierarchy to figure out what the functions are doing, I don't have time for that bullshit. Tests should just be like really straightforward as to what they do. And by forcing you to use functions for all of your tests, it you know, keeps you into like a nice, you know, like a nice lowest common denominator of what features you can use. I've spent too many hours debugging, you know, a easy to make mistake in a class where somebody has just like accidentally overwritten a test function or like collided in a name with another test function and just like silently disabled important testing features. I've also had to untangle, you know, weird mix-in inheritance hierarchies because people are just too fucking lazy to import the thing they needed. Like, they wrote these big-ass classes that just, like, had a million unrelated functions on them because they were just too lazy to import. And so whenever you extended from this class, you imported the entire code base. And so, you know, essentially, like, the class-based tests is, you know, kind of lead you down a ball of mud problem of testing. So I just don't use them. Hey, Mewtwo! Thank you for the raid. Party of 14. You must have been playing video games today. How was the video games? How was the video games? Can't talk too much, but hey, well, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. I'm trash. It was alright. What did you play? Apex? Or I've only ever seen you play Apex. I don't know what other games you play. Apex, okay. Perfect. Well, hopefully you had fun. And don't worry about raiding and running. I know how that goes. Thank you for stopping by. Makes sense. I think if you have classes and tests, you won't know if the base will change. Yeah. Doesn't JSON dumps already turn bytes? No, it returns stir. It returns bytes Python 2, but not Python 3. Have a great stream. Well, thank you. Rex Media, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hopefully you're doing well. Fair enough. I just checked, probably confusing with another function. So in Python 2, it does return bytes. Type is bytes. So yeah, Python 2. Although most Python 2 returns bytes for all sorts of things, but yeah. Thanks for doing all right. Sounds good. Okay, we reviewed that code. Now I get to the complicated thing, which is gonna be hard to fix. And I don't know how well we're going to be able to fix it. Which is this long-standing, I guess it's only a year and a half old, issue on pytest, which, my god, is a frustrating boyo. Where if you use logging and have something that, you know, prints to output, such as with basic config, you should be able to retrieve the output from capsys or from capfd, which are the two capture fixtures in pytest that make it so you can test output. The funny thing is, pytest prints captured standard error call, so it captures it, but it doesn't make it available to the test for some reason. But it knows. pytest knows that that's there. But there's some layering of capfd that's a problem. But anyway, this has quite a lot of history, and I actually ran into this this morning while fixing the error message stuff for pre-commit.ci, because that error message stuff goes through pre-commit's outputting, and pre-commit's outputting writes directly to standard.out's buffer, and so I basically had a much more complicated version of this test here. Is my font size smaller than usual? I feel like it's usually like this for chat. Yeah, this looks better. But yeah, I had a test that was basically like this, where like some module had a reference to standard error buffer, it wrote to it during the test, and then, you know, it should be available in capfd.readout error. But if we take this and we get ourselves a copy of pytest. Rex Media says, streamer question, is there a chatbot app that keeps an eye on logged in users who enter and start viewing / send their first message? Do you mean for like a Twitch bot? Yeah, there are things that do that. I could do that in my project if I wanted to. It's not that hard to do. Like the basic idea is your bot just remembers all the users that have sent messages. And then the first time that they send a message that for a user that you haven't seen before, like you could do a custom greeting. I know some streamers do this to like have little like overlays on their chat, and some of them do it per stream, and like yeah, it's a pretty common thing that I've seen. So definitely possible, and there's probably a bunch of things that do it. In fact, Blackbox has a recommendation for one. Perfect. But yeah, no problem. Happy to help you out there. All right, so let's set up a virtual environment, and I'll show you the very silly output of this test. So we put this in here. So if I run this test in just like pytest's default mode, well, this isn't quite the default mode because there's also some plugins and probably the pytest config of pytest itself. But if we run this, you'll see that the test fails. Hey, what's up, Humuru? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. It actually has a very silly output. So we write this and then we say like we should get some output, and the output is nothing. So we get an assertion failure. But then pytest is like, oh yeah, that output that you wanted, yeah, I caught it. You just missed it. You must have. Where's your output? Where's your output? So this is that failure mode. But the funny thing is, if you do pytest-s, which is don't capture output, then it succeeds. So there's some, you know, switchy handoff file descriptors, something shenanigans going on in here. But yeah, remember, if a product manager can think of it, it must be possible. Oh no. I don't know. I've had a lot of product managers that suggest things that are literally impossible to me. So I don't even know if that quite holds. Bebo TV says, why is every science and tech streamer's keyboard cut in half? So my keyboard originally wasn't cut in half. But then Kinesis reached out to me and they were like, hey, do you want a keyboard for free to show off on your stream? And I was like, sure, I'll try out a split keyboard. Because I had never used a split keyboard before. I want to say that I was kind of like a trendsetter here because there weren't that many like keyboard cams on Twitch. Now, although I guess Prime had one before I did, but like then everyone had to have one. But yeah, I mean, it happens. But I also have a classic keyboard as well. Do you like it better than a regular keyboard? Not really. I don't really have ergonomic problems. Although I'm getting really good at typing on this. Although I was pretty good at it out of the box as well. I think I still prefer. So I think I would like this keyboard more if I would have gotten brown switches instead of reds. But I wasn't paying attention. I just assumed that there was only one switch type, and I didn't realize that there was choices. Because if I would have noticed there were choices, I would have asked for browns instead of reds. But yeah. Release in 2 sprints. Here's 5 epics. Oh no. Zithra says regular keyboard stream when. I mean, I can do one whenever. I've got it right over here. I could plug it in and just kind of go. It's a little bit dusty, but here's my regular keyboard. This is a code V387, 10 keyless, but it has clears, which are just so much nicer than reds. You know, we could how am I gonna dust this off? I guess I can dust it off on the carpet. Oh, it's so dusty. I haven't used it in a while. Yeah, we could do some regular keyboard. I actually even have hope that's plugged in. What's the easiest way to do this? And move stuff out of the way so that I can just set this keyboard off to the side instead of having to unplug and replug, because that's a whole bunch of work. Move that. Move, Zig! You know what you're doing? Okay. That's off screen. Cool. So we got... Been a while. It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. Fine. There we go. Keyboard! This beat, bro! Or this beat, though. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. Where do I put the thingy thing? Where do I put my fidgets? There we go. Good enough. Okay, we can use the other keyboard. A quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Anyway, there we go. Keyboard sounds. 673 Riley says squirrel. Where's there a squirrel? Productivity cut in half now. Yeah, right. Well, actually, so what we can really do here is oh shit. This is way harder than I thought. Where's the K? Oh. Oh my god, this is way harder than it looks. Okay, anyway. The quick... Holy shit, this is a mind bend. Anyway, I had one hand on the other keyboard, which is what I was trying to do. I bet I could do it the other way, though. Yeah, for some reason, like, hands crossed over, like, way easier. Oh, I had a typo there. Yeah, I don't know why that's easier. I have no idea why that's easier. That makes no sense. Why is that easier? Michigan Squirrel Club? Yeah, there was a Michigan Squirrel Watching Club. I saw a lot of squirrels in Michigan. Just cut that one in half too. Okay, anyway. Yes, this keyboard. But yeah, so this fails when it's not hiding the output, but passes when it's passing through the output, which is weird. When display keyboard, just plug in 2 regular keyboards and only type on one half of each. Yeah, exactly. Needs more RGB. Yeah. This has 2 RGB LEDs right here and here. Let's see if you can see them. I gotta put my hand here for white balance. Nope. Let's see. So you can see there's a little. Get more. Oh, there's a green LED right there. That's apparently the one that I can programmatically change. So right now it is green. But yeah, those two LEDs can be RGBified if you want. But yeah, no, they're not. But any who's you just need to cut wood in half. Yeah, there you go. Don't cut the cable in half. You'll need it. 673 Riley says, "Tell me about the rabbits, George. I'm not sure I understand the reference. Is that a Harry Potter reference? Maybe a Harry Potter reference. I don't know. We have rabbits that live outside my apartment. I take my beagle doggo Champ and we chase them. You guys chase the rabbits? Oh, of Mice and Men? Oh. That book was a trip. That book was a fucking trip. Okay. So, unfortunately, this part of pytest is kind of complicated. And I seem to remember that it has to deal with file descriptor shenanigans to make this work properly. And probably global state. So I kind of want to start this by with strace. As bad as I think that is going to be the easiest way to debug this. Of course, diff is going to be meaningless, right? Diff-u log.ok log. Yeah, this is going to be useless because of the memory addresses. Yep. A lot of them are the same though. Okay. Let's look at log.ok. So there should be a dupe in here somewhere. Dupe 0, dupe 1, dupe 2. 0 is... Oh, what are the standard file descriptors? Python 3. Standard in dot file, no. Standard in is 1. That means standard out is, or standard in is 0, standard out is 1, standard error is 2. Well, that doesn't make sense to me. Why do we call dupe on standard in? Like, this is kind of what I expect. Also, why is it just duping and reclosing them? That doesn't seem right. Are these not what I expect then? Oh, maybe it's the dupe 2 calls? Yeah, this looks more like the capfd code. So what this is doing is it makes 2 files. two temporary files. So 6 and 8 are temporary files. And then it overwrites standard out and standard error. And then it calls read and truncate. It does the same thing here. Okay. And then what? And then we reassign FD5. What the fuck is FD5? Who are you, FD5? Oh boy. Maybe if I put some print calls, it'll be a little bit easier to read. Doesn't the book end up being horribly sad? Yeah, that's what I mean by it's a bit of a trip. The book, yeah. Okay, so here's another FD5. So FD5 gets reused, so that's not helpful. Because here's a pytest file. Yeah, here's close. So somewhere after here, we make another file descriptor for 5. Wait. Oh, here's another open call. Okay. Well, here's the last open call that gives us 5. Here we go. Oh. FC and F dupe FD clo exec. What is this? Is this another dupe call? F dupe FD. Return a new file descriptor which shall be allocated and described in blah blah blah, except that it shall be the lowest numbered available file descriptor, greater than or equal to the third argument. The new file descriptor shall refer to the same open file descriptor as the original file descriptor and shall share any locks. The FD clo exec flag associated with this new file descriptor shall be cleared to keep the file open across calls to exec functions. Okay, so this is a copy of standard error, standard out. Why is there not a copy of standard error though? Is the better question. Hey, what's up, Abel16? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we write two temp files to standard out and standard error, and then where did 7 come from? I don't know why it didn't go 5 and then 7. Like we have 6, 8, and 5, 7. Where did 7 get allocated? Oh, I know why. Probably due to the way the code runs. There's where we get 5. Where do we get 7? I guess I could search. Oh, right there. Right smack dab in the middle. Okay, this makes sense, I guess. So, what is this? Why are we running blat to something? Is that part of pytest? It wouldn't surprise me. That sounds like a Ronnie thing to write. Blat. No, it's not part of pytest. Part of Python? What? Why is there a blat? What? Get default temp. Calculate the default directory to use for temporary files. Huh. Interesting. Oh, why is it do a write though? I guess it does a write to trigger more directories. Log dash capital G blat in this. Literally goes back to the beginning of time. Weird. Very weird. Very weird. But presumably caches the result of get tempter, and that's why we only see it once. That's why it's intermingled here. That's why we see the blats. That is why we see the blats. So 5 and 6 get... Yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. There are two classes in pytest, and they handle their stuff separately. So for 5 up here, we dupe standard out, then we make a temporary file. Then we dupe standard error, and we make another temporary file. And then we assign standard out and standard error into from those temporary files. Then we do some work, and then we assign them back. That's what this is doing here. And then we do it again here. This copies standard error. This copies standard out. This opens it. Okay, so we're doing this again here. Then we write wat to 4. Oh no, we write to 1. This totally looks like it should work, given these syscalls. Am I looking at the working one or the not working one? I might be looking at the working one. Oh yeah, this is definitely the working one. Yeah, this must be the working one. Okay, that looks completely fine. That looks great. Infotech Yeti, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. Yeah, and then it prints a green dot. So this is the okay one. All right, so that makes sense. That makes sense to me. So let's find the dupe calls in here. So this is the startup, where it does all that. Then this is, I think, at the test level. It dupes 5 to 1 and music is stopped. Yeah, so this is weird. Why do we do that twice? Okay, so this is the actual test execution. Well, actually, this is something before the test. I actually don't know what's going on here. Oh wait, I think fixtures have their own. Yeah, I think fixtures have their own capture context. So this is fixture setup and teardown. That makes sense. That's very weird. I don't see that right call at all in here. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, it's writing to file descriptor 6. Which is very weird to me. It's like pytest has changed what it's writing to somehow. How does it know that it's file descriptor 6? Is the other question. It's very weird. Let's see if we can get it as part of the error message. Yeah, that's weird. How did sys change its file now? Shouldn't it be writing to file descriptor 1 first before writing to file to 6? So, yeah, I don't know how it has decided that standard in or standard out has this other alternative file descriptor. This is weird to me. That's very weird to me. Like, I think it should still see the original file descriptor and not FD6. Because, I mean, maybe it notices the dupe? Doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't match up with my understanding of how dupe works. But I could also have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, because yes, I've worked with this a lot, but I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. Okay, so there should be a dupe2 colon here somewhere. This is FD capture binary. Okay, so this starts by... I like how it just opens DevNull here. Oh, I see. Because standard in cannot be. Okay, that makes sense. It really should not be doing this initialization, this resource acquisition as part of initialization. It should be doing this as part of enter in a context manager, but this class is a little bit weird. Yeah, like this temporary file here is potentially leaked. It's probably not in reality, but probably not in reality. So the one hacky fix for this would be for pytest to notice that its global capture is enabled and forward that along to the tests. That would be a hacky fix. I want to see if there's a fix that keeps that global state isolated, though. Because ideally, we don't want to juggle that state. Like, it seems weird to me. Let me import this. Oops. What is your interface? Start and done. You take a file descriptor. Yeah, so we're gonna capture standard out. fdcab.start. What did it get called down here? .done. There's also like a .snap or something. .snap. Gonna give me no module name pytest. Okay, interesting. So this changes the file number of sys.standardout. How though? How though? Streamer doesn't even know how to install pytest, right, Griffinborg? How the fuck? Is it reseeding this reference somehow? Even though I don't see it in there? Oh. It is. It is. It's reseeding that reference. It's probably the sys capture. Match sysdict. Yeah, why does it do that? So this is what's replacing sys.standardin. It's just sys.standardout, presumably. Look at start here. Yeah, set header. Okay, so in theory, if we disable that, then it should just work. That's what we want to see. And now our test passes. But it fails our test suite pretty poorly. No more freestyle. Chat wanted to see this keyboard today, so we decided to change. Really? This test fails now? Oh, yeah. This test should fail now. Wait, no, this test looks like it should be fine. Oops. That makes me think that there's test pollution. Shit. Ah! So I bet that test passes on its own. Yeah, let's see if we take this test and run it on its own. Weird. Very weird. Very, very weird. Pollution is the solution to pollution. What? How does that work? So somehow the print is not being picked up by capfd? That makes no sense to me. Also, we literally have this test here and it works fine. Yeah, that test works fine. So what the fuck is happening here? Is it... It's when it's piped? What? Why does that matter? Oh my god. Why does piping change the situation? Oh, down the fucking rabbit hole we go, chat. Okay. That's the dupes we see at the beginning. Yeah, it's writing to file descriptor 7. What do you know about file descriptor 7 at all? Oh, does that mean it's writing directly to the output? Yeah. In capfd, shouldn't matter. So usually I don't do print debugging, but we wouldn't be able to actually use the debugger here, so that's why I'm doing this weird thing. I'm actually doing assertion-based debugging. Multi-capture. 12. $50.12. That's very weird. That is very weird. Wondering if there's something in here that changes how this works. No, doesn't seem needed there. Oh, this is so shitty. Oh, capturing output is so tricky. So that's consistent at least. So that's still 1 and 12. So we can look at the dupe calls. Why is this file so big? Okay, so those are those dupe calls. We should see one for 12. Here's 12 and 14. The first time we see 12 and 14, I guess. Because then we splat over 12 and 14 with 13, 11 and 13. And then we splat over. And then we set up this whole stack of thing again. I'm confused why we're setting up and tearing down these so many times. Edben, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. I wonder if this is a file descriptor reuse bug. That wouldn't surprise me. What are 11 and 13? Where do those get assigned? So 12 we get from... 11 and 13 are the old file descriptors. Yeah. 11 is old standard out, and 13 is old standard error. 12 is definitely our temporary file. But how come when we write to it, it's going to the screen? Well, that makes sense. Makes no sense. Grimborg says, so, chat, who else is lost? Me. I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't want to work on this anymore. I don't know if this is solvable. I also have kind of no idea what's going on. This part of pytest is a little complicated, yeah. Understatement of the fucking year. I guess I'll write up what I know so far. Yeah, I'll write what I know so far. Okay, so I took a bit of a look at this on stream. I can get it to do what I want by disabling the capture part of capfd, but this seems to horribly break it in a bunch of other scenarios. Actually, I bet why does this work? Actually, I wanted to do this. So why does this work? Why doesn't that work? It's a really weird thing. Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because of flushing. It's because of flushing. Okay, I can fix this. It's because of flushing. It's because of flushing. Okay. I might be able to fix this. Hey, what's up? Gamecop Dev, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. Where is the snap function? Okay, so we need to do os, is it os.flush? Flush file descriptor Python fsync. Fuck. Oh no. We don't want tutorials point. Fuck that site. It's almost as bad as W3 Schools. Force write a file descriptor fd to disk. On Unix, this calls the native fsync function. You're starting with a buffered file object first to f.flush. How do I just call flush? Like, I need a flush. I need a flush somewhere. I could os.fopen. That doesn't feel right though. I think I dumped a GitHub issue, yeah, but also I think I figured it out. Is that gonna fix it? No. No. Am I writing to the right file? Oh, does print have its own internal buffer? Is that the problem? What? Wait, what? Why the fuck? Wait, I'm so confused now. What? Why does it work if I put it there but not here? This must not be the method that's being called. What method is being called? Oh. It's calling this here. Why is it calling this? What's the difference between this? What's the difference between these two methods? Devel.seek. Oh, this one goes straight to the buffer. Okay, so there is a difference between these two. Okay, but what if we do os.fsync self.target fd? What if we do that in here? Invalid argument. Okay, so if we do with open self.target fd f.flush. If we do that. No, that's clearly not what we want. Oh, how do I trigger os.flush? Why is this so hard? Os.flush. Let's just call Python. Why? Why is there not a method to do this? I mean, we can just put... just put this in here. It's not gonna be right, but it's going to work. Why does it work once but not twice? Why does it work once but not twice? Yeah, like you worked fine here, why not here? Right. Do I need more fleshing? Do we need more flesh here? That would fix it? No? I think finally understanding toilets. Okay, it's a good clip. Hey, what's up? I'm Decibel. Hello, hello. Okay, so it works once, but why does it not work twice? Why does it not work the second time? I guess what we could do is add more to here. Does it have to do with the logging somehow? What? No. Oh, this just looks funny when you run it. Hello world, hello world, hello world. It must have to do with the logging somehow. Hmm. Um. Somehow. Hello? Is it this? What? Why does that change anything? So it's still flushing somehow. What? That makes no sense. Why does logger.info trash the standard out buffer? Create a plunger method? Is it clogged? Yeah. You can write a testing framework faster than understanding it and why they did what they did. Yeah, well, it's not they necessarily, because I actually wrote capfd binary. So I wrote some of this code. So in some cases it's we with this. But also, what the fuck is happening? What is logger.info doing? I guess we can strace it. It just straight up trashes the buffer. That's so weird. Oh shit, that's not what I want. Oh, it must be the pause and resume. Anytime I pause, I need to do this also. Where's pause? Bend? Yeah. So we need to do... Okay, we're getting somewhere. We need to do this. Perhaps. Yeah, that looks not fixed. There must be more places I need to do that. Oh wait, no, it's good. It's good. And it's not perfect, but found only 24 failed. What did we have before? 26 failed. Okay, we fixed 2 tests. GG me. Hey, what's up, HBIAA? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are doing well. I bet disable also has this problem. Spend, done. Yeah, I bet this also has to do that as well. So probably need to do that here. System standard out.flush. We're mostly just proving out that this is possible, and then I can clean the code up afterwards. We're certainly getting fewer hellos printed now, so I feel like I'm progressing the right direction. Still 24 failed though. Maybe using logging standard at the same time is not advisable given this. I think pytest is doing that. Not sure though. Erneswell says, I'm always ending up writing a new framework. Mocha is a pain for me in JavaScript, TypeScript. Not sure much about pytest, haven't used it much. Long has some weird stuff with the stream handler. Yeah, I don't know if it's the stream handler. Repo was yesterday flushing his shit. I don't think it's the stream handler. Was that a buffer overflow? No, it did not. Don't mind me, I'm brain dead. Just got off work from coding all day. Yeah, same. Same. What? What? This is nested capturing. I guess we need to flush it before we enable it too, while it's disabled. We just need a lot of flushes. We need flushes everywhere. I don't think that made a difference. I don't think that made a difference. What if we just... what if we just do some hacky shit like this? And I just literally take all of these functions and just put flush on top of them. Is that gonna fix this? We need it for the last one. Nope. Plunging method, yeah. Rename please. Well, it doesn't work, so. Yeah. Oh, but more tests are passing now. Fuck. Test cap adder. I think that test is just wrong. Issue 555. They got trips. Oh, this is really just an attribute error. Well, maybe the plunger works. Check those decorators on for sure. A strong correlation with the number of flushing and the number of tests passing. Yeah. Alright, what do we got here? Test capture conf test run test setup. So this should not be printed, but it is being printed for some reason. Well, you know what they say, chat. Add more flushes, I guess. So stupid. That didn't make it there. Hey, what's up, Lady RXXX? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. There was a buffer overflow. No, the dots are the test passing. If it doesn't flush the first time, the best idea is to keep flushing it. Yeah. This is weird though. So what it's saying here is if I have a conf test that has a, what's the name of it? We have this saying that right now what? I don't see that output at all unless I put -s here. So do I switch that to a... God. I got one more passing by just being like, yeah, we're going to sub-process this one. What was the name of this test? Should have done the full. Should have done the full thing. Yeah, so that gets another run passing as well. So that should just get it down to 18. I still don't know what this hello is. Hello? It's possible that was on master, so might not be my problem. Okay, what do we got here? Ensuring that we can access setup and teardown buffers from teardown when using capsys and capfd. What? How the fuck is that gonna work? What does it do right now? Seems to work fine to me. I think pytest capture is interfering with this. Somehow. What is this test called? And if we do inline run, do this. 5:18. Insert outcome. I must have used the wrong phone. Why are there two different types for this? Luckily Rob has linked 3033. capfd not working in 331. I remember when we used to use this thing. It was so bad at this. It would just always ping Bruno or me or Ronnie. Now granted, we can almost always we're almost always good at reproducing these, but yeah. Anyway. Oh, did I fix it? Did I really fix this? No way. Was this me? No, I didn't. It wasn't me. Oh. Yeah, locally. Yeah. Okay, but I just have the wrong thing here, so I gotta figure out how pytester works again. Source pytester. So we have inline run, which returns a what? A hook recorder. And run test subprocess. What do you return? You return a run results. Which has not enough information to do this. So we'll just do this. All is not defined. Another one. I wrote this test. You know why I know I wrote this test? Because this is definitely something that I would do. Okay, so that works. The test works. It's probably just a subprocess thing again. I wrote this test too. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, that looks right. It's right there. It's another one I have to change the subprocess, I guess. 514. There's another one. Well, I think it's a lot of just doing this over and over. Oh boy. Oh god, what does this do? This hello is what's sneaking out. Somehow. Which is weird. I think. Oh. Maybe that's not the one. We don't have a sys capture. On a 12. Why would they do this? Why wouldn't they just literally write the number 2? Why did they do stir2? Yeah, wait, why didn't this one error? Oh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna look at this a different day. Because my brain is confused. Okay, let's continue writing. Where did my tab go? I get to do what I want by disabling the sys capture part of capfd / capfd binary, but this seems to horribly break it in a bunch of other scenarios. Has one downside in that flushing needs to happen whenever the file descriptors are changed, because the original file, been dealing with print because buffering. I have a bit of a work in progress version of this branch. It requires a lot of changes to the test suite. Not sure whether it's actually a good change or not, given how many tests it broke. I also have to change a lot of tests to run in a sub-process so they don't interfere with the tests themselves, because this capture is no longer set. Here's that patch though, or at least the start of it. Maybe it's for accessibility later on. No, there's literally no reason. There's literally no reason. My guess is it was originally running a byte somehow. But yeah. This is just messy bitch. Well, I mean, the things I changed actually aren't that unreasonable, but that makes sense. It still doesn't really make sense. Like, pren 2 pren is going to be the same in Python 2 and Python 3. Except, actually, maybe it was a Python 2, Python 3. We can find it. Git log dash capital G stir 2. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. That makes sense, I guess. Because it was originally calling print with 2. The test has kind of flipped its meaning since that time. Because now it's print sys standard out print. Whereas before it was write, print, write. Which is interesting. Also, there's no way the os.write calls worked properly for capsys. So there must have only been one type of capture originally. Interesting. Oh, look at this. py.o.standard_capture_fd patch sys equals false. So there was a way to toggle whether it was going to capture the system or not. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess there's learned a little bit about the history of this. But anyway, this is a rabbit hole that I don't feel like going down today. So we're gonna wrap up there and send y'all off to another channel. But anyway, before we do that, my name is Anthony. I upload my previous content to YouTube, and that is youtube.com/AnthonyWritesCode. I unfortunately have not recorded any videos this week, so we will see whether I record some either after stream today or tomorrow, but I don't know. We'll see what happens there. I normally stream on Monday evenings and Saturday at noon, but I also might stream a few days here and there throughout the week, so look out for those in 2 places. One of those is on Twitter. That's twitter.com/codewithanthony, where I will announce streams like this, and I will also announce them on the Discord. YouTube, Twitter, Discord. I'm Diswell says, have an awesome night, Anthony. Thanks for the stream. I learned something new today. Down the rabbit hole we went. Indeed. But anyway, thank you all for stopping by, and let's go find some to raid.